Hi, third grade. Today I wanted to come with a new art project with you, and this project is going to be a one-day project. But I have a piece of paper here that I'd like to take a few notes on, and I want us to talk about something called space. So what is space? Now, when we talk about space in art, I am not referring to outer space. I'm actually talking about things that are present in a piece of artwork. Sometimes space can be shown by having things in the front of a picture that seem closer to you, or things in the distance like the background. The other thing space can also help us understand is something called positive space and negative space. So where do you see these two symbols, a plus sign and a minus? You're going to say math class. Okay, so positive space would mean something that is present, something that is there. When we subtract something, when we take it away, it's missing. It's no longer there. So as an artist, we can think about how positive and negative space can actually be part of pieces of art. Now today, not only am I going to think about space, but I'm also going to think about shape. Okay, now when we talk about shape, you're like, Mrs. Berry, I know what shapes are, okay? And so when we think of shapes, right away we might say, oh, triangles, circles, squares, rectangles, hearts, stars. Okay, so all of these shapes are shapes that have names. Okay, so when I say a circle, you know what it is. When I say a triangle, you know. Having names and shapes is also known as geometric. Geometric shapes. Okay. Now, what about the opposite shapes? Those shapes that we don't know what their names are. They're shapes like when we're outside, we might see a leaf shape, or a raindrop, or a cloud, or a puddle. What are these shapes known as? These do not have names. And these are known as organic shapes. So we spent a lot of time on geometric and organic last year when you were in second grade. So hopefully you're like, oh yeah, I remember this. And if you are new to Heim and you've learned this, great. If not, I want you to really become familiar with those. So we're going to incorporate that idea of space of positive and negative, and we're also going to include geometric and organic shapes. So I'm going to take my piece of paper here, and I have some notes on here, but I'm going to cover that up. So here I have a black piece of paper. In your packet, you were given a piece of white paper, and you're also given some different squares of paper. You're going to choose two of your favorite colors for right now. It could be any color. I am actually only using two blacks for mine because that's what I have today. But what I want you to think about is right now on my paper, what is the positive? What is whole on my paper? And hopefully you're saying, oh, this black square. This square is known as positive space. It is there. It's not, I'm not removing it. I'm not picking up. It is part of my design right now. So as an artist, I'm going to actually come in here and say, I want to remove a piece of paper. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm actually going to do a geometric shape this time. So what I have just done, I'm going to flip this so I can cover up my notes there. I'm going to try to take my triangle and fit it. It's kind of like a puzzle here. I have to figure out how I cut it. Nope. I want to make sure it's perfectly fits. So what you can see here is I took a geometric cutting and I removed it. So this white space would be known as the negative space. It's missing. I've removed it. Just like if I did one apple and I ate that one apple, I'd have nothing left. So just like that. So, but I can, as an artist, say, oh, but I'm going to replace it and now turn that into a positive on the other side. Okay, so let's do another geometric shape. Ooh, this is kind of cool. So here, I did a semicircle. Once again, I want to make sure it could fit like a puzzle. And when I do this, I'm trying to make sure that it can stay on my paper. So there again, I have removed paper. I now have a negative and I replaced it with a positive. Same thing here. All right, I'll do one more on this side. Let's think, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll do a half a heart. Okay, a heart has a name. So once again, how would my heart fit in, or my half heart? I'm gonna flip it over. So you can see I've taken my paper and I have positive and negative. All right, now with the other piece of paper that you have today, now that I've done more geometric shapes, I'm gonna think about doing some organic shapes. Okay, so here's my positive space. Okay, when I put this down, I'm gonna make sure it matches. I'm gonna flip it over. Another word we can also see here is the word symmetry, when things align, okay? So you can see how it's symmetrical. It would actually fit. And organic could be, I mean, anything. Thinking about nature especially. That's why I was saying like raindrops and clouds. Okay, I'm gonna try to fit, there's my positive. I cut it away. Now it's negative, but I'm replacing it with positive on the other side. So what I would like for you to do is take some time and work on a design. And I want you to be really creative. Try to think of one of your squares being very geometric, okay, shapes that have names. So triangles, half circles, I did a heart. And then over here, doing shapes on the edges that would be more organic. As I am finish up on this, I'm going to show you a couple images how an artist did a butterfly with positive and negative, how they actually did a drawing and did some designs and then removed the shape of a hummingbird. So there's two different pieces of art that you can see. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this and start gluing it and getting it all put together so you can see my finished artwork. So go ahead, get your paper. Maybe you wanna take some notes and sketch a little bit of some ideas and then start thinking about that positive space, negative space, geometric shapes, organic shapes. Okay, so I took my glue stick. I have all of my pieces put together and you can see how stunning it is when you start adding those shapes and those designs. I'm looking at my paper, I'm thinking about something called balance as well. I'm adding a lot of vocabulary in here, and balance is when, you know, looking at a piece of paper, if everything's on one side, it might look like your picture is a little heavy on one side. And I'm thinking, oh, there's so much negative space over here. Okay, there's so much white, there's nothing there. So I'm thinking I'd like to do one last little area maybe. I was thinking about putting a rectangle, and I'm gonna let you even maybe have like a free spot. So maybe a spot where you're like, oh, I just wanna do a shape of my choice. It doesn't have to be, you know, necessary organic in this area or geometric. But once again, I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna flip it. And notice none of my pieces are overlapping. But do you see how all of a sudden it gives my artwork a lot more interest? There's less negative space there. So it gives me a little more interest. Please also notice as I'm gluing, I'm putting the glue on my paper, my black paper. Okay, if I put it on my white paper here, I don't necessarily know where exactly my shape is gonna go, and I don't want the sticky glue to like be showing. Okay, so once again, you can see how it would fit like a puzzle. I'm gonna flip it out, okay? Put my glue on there. So having that artist eye is important, so you have that balance as well. I'm going to show you really quick one of my daughters. This was one that she did. So she did black and white as well. Once again, very organic in one shape, more geometric in one of hers. And then this one's like a blend of the two. But you can really see how different the designs can be in both of these, but how you're learning that positive and negative space. You're thinking about shapes. You're thinking about the arrangement of your piece of art. So all of those things will really, really help build your understanding and your art skill. So I can't wait to see what you create. I think these are really fun. So enjoy, and I will be watching for your pictures. Bye-bye.